Hello friends, welcome to the channel. I am Poonam Dua and today we will discuss yesterday's question paper of MA English Entrance CUCET. This was conducted on 1st September 2022, although hard copy of the paper is not given to the students, but the students of my academy could provide me with many questions and we will discuss all those questions and the level of the whole question paper and the format. Before moving further, please do not forget to share and subscribe the channel and put your valuable feedback in the form of comments. Thanks to my students, all my students are the real star behind this video. They did put a lot of effort to remember the questions, to recall the questions, to give me these questions. They were very conscientious and it has really been a fun having all of them in my class this year, and they seem to be good at everything they do. So I wish them that they should keep trying new things and keep achieving all the goals and objectives that they are meant for. It was divided into two parts. Part A had 25 questions and Part B had 75 domain questions related to literature and 25 questions of maths, aptitude, GK and current affairs. My students could give me few questions word to word and few questions they just told me about they were about average or they were about the age of families. So average के questions आपको करने चाहिए for your next exam, and all the questions related to linear equations and ages should be covered. And there was a question related to directions. Direction questions are generally asked in many competitive exams and are based upon two principles. It can be either distance related or direction related. This is the exact question that I could get. This is basically related to percentage. A and B, two people invested some money and one gets 12%, 12.5% of profit for managing business and rest of the profit is distributed according to their capital. What will be A's share in profit in total profit of 880 rupees? The speed distance related question also I have covered immensely in my classes. This is the particular question that was there in the exam. 800-meter long train crossed a tunnel in 1 minute with a speed of 73 km per hour. What is the length of the tunnel? Then again in part A there was a quadratic equation related question. We were supposed to find out the value of k in this equation. One question was related to matching. We were supposed to match list 1 and list 2. And one question, what will be the appropriate word for a soldier who fights for the sake of money? These were the options. And there were some current affairs questions as well. Let us come to literature specific part, and this is the part from where they could remember most of the questions. If we see the questions of literature, they have tried to cover questions from all the areas, from literary devices, from history of literature, from dramas, from fiction, from Indian writers, from British writers, from the world literature. Everything was there in this particular exam. They were asked about the first comedy directly. They were asked about the Commonwealth period. From all these spheres, they did ask question. This one, look at this one. Year of Norman Conquest. You can say history of language. Final solutions written by Mahesh Dattani. You can say this was from Indian literature. This was from world literature or from the category of awards. Awards से related questions भी बहुत ज़्यादा आते हैं. First Afro American to receive Nobel Prize. Few questions they could give me with options, few without options. It was not easy to recall and tell me each and everything. This question was there. Martin Esslin gave which of the following concept who has written Waiting for Godot. So I'll suggest to all the new aspirants that do prepare thoroughly, because the question paper has been created very wisely and covers all the domains, all the areas of literature. And this one I could get with option. Which of the following play was written by Harold Pinter? The Birthday Party is the right answer. We did this particular play in detail in our classes, and I'm really thankful to my students from the bottom of my heart that they could uh, remember and they could recall and they could provide me all this information. Then Shakespeare related questions. To be and not to be comes in which play of Shakespeare, William Faulkner? The Sound and Fury title was taken from which writer? I always tell my students to be proficient in chronology. Chronological questions बहुत ज़रूरी होते हैं. हमने बहुत chronological questions को practice किया है class में and still we are doing it. Touchstone method से related question थे और chronological question में they could recall this one. We were to arrange the years of the Norman conquest, death of Chaucer, birth of William Shakespeare and William Tyndale's New Testament. तो एक question ऐसा जो कि अपने आप में इतने सारे topics को cover कर लेता है. Then there were questions from Orientalism, the very famous post-colonial concept given by Edward Said, a vindication of the rights of women with strictures on political and moral subjects. There were questions from Goblin Market, there were questions from Godan. Shakespeare is really a favorite writer of the examiner. Shakespeare से related बहुत questions आते हैं, be it any university. And this was another question. Prospero is the character in which play of Shakespeare, author of sexual politics, यानी कि आपको फेमिनिज्म को भी बहुत अच्छे से कवर करना है, पार्टीशन नॉवेल्स को भी बहुत अच्छे से कवर करना है, दैट शुड बी देयर. कौन कौन सा नॉवल पार्टीशन नॉवल नहीं है, something like that was the question. They could not recall the option. Then there were questions from criticism part. Magical realism was there, archetype criticism was there, and one very famous detective character, Sherlock Holmes से related questions भी थे. This one I could get with options. A thing of beauty is a joy forever comes in which of the following correct answer is this one, option B, Endymion. So this quote was also there. A poem should not mean but be who said it. Of grammatology is written by whom? Biographia Literaria. Here I am telling you since beginning ki chronology is very important. Tradition and individual talent written by whom? That was also a question. From the poetic group, they could recall this question. There was a question about imagist writer, and from literary devices, they could recall this one. Pen is mightier than the sword. This is metonymy. Negative capability, the concept given by W.B. Yeats, and who said that the language of the age could not be the language of the poetry. Very famous quote by Gray. कुछ odd one out questions भी थे. Few writers were given: Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, and Horace, and we were supposed to find out the odd ones. Again, odd one out: Matthew Lewis, James Boswell, Radcliffe, and Horace. Then there was this kind of question again related to awards. Who didn't win Booker Prize twice? And these four options were there: Margaret Atwood, Peter Carey, V.S. Naipaul, and J.M. Coetzee. There were questions related to the psychoanalysis, id, ego, and superego, metaphysical poets, question about first dictionary, questions about myth of Sisyphus. And my students could recall two passages based questions as well. One was according to them based upon To His Coy Mistress by Andrew Marvell, and the second one from Second Coming by W.B. Yeats. And in the end, I would like to say thanks to all my students who could provide me with these questions. All of you are such a bright and cheerful people, and I really enjoyed having all of you in my classes this year. You joined in all the class activities with lots of enthusiasm and encouraged every other person, every new joinee in class to do the same also. I'm certain that your love of learning, your hunger of learning will really take you far in life. Again, a big thanks. And now let me tell you about the registration. Registration is open for the next year's batch 2023 exam as well. And you may contact at the WhatsApp number given in the description of this video. There is a link given in the description. Please contact at that number to get admission for the next year's classes.